Okay, I am really fed up on how the Blue Jays are handling George Springer's injury. You know, when he was removed from the game last Sunday against the Atlanta Braves, and even though, George Springer, he put on a great show last Saturday when he hit two home runs against the Atlanta Braves. But then all of a sudden, the following game, he left the game early because they called it a leg fatigue. And then he wasn't in a lineup on Monday, which was supposed to be a scheduled day off. And then he didn't play yesterday. And today, they put him back on the IL. I knew there was something going on with George Springer. And I knew that he was more than fatigue. He re-aggravated that groin. There's no question about that. As much as I'm a diehard Blue Jay fan, and I've been waiting to see George Springer making his Blue Jay debut, and he was pretty good. He had two home runs. He got a base hit. He hit 200, even though, it will take some time for him to get his batting average up. He will provide that big presence at the leadoff spot. He can hit with massive power, and he could drive in runs at the top of that order. And he's also a really solid base runner, even though he's not a base stealer. But to bring George Springer back this early, where he wasn't 100%. That's why he was only limited to DH. He can't play in the outfield. So why on earth would the Blue Jays bring him back and only limit to play DH? To me, it was just too premature. And I understand George Springer, he was so anxious. He wants to make an impact right away. And I also believe that, he wants to be out there with the guys. He was sick and tired of being sitting in the dugout and rehabbing his injury. I mean, I could tell that he wants to play. But on the other hand, these soft tissues can linger. It's easily to re-aggravate, which obviously happened. I cannot see the big reason why the Charlie Montoya would bring George Springer back. And to me, now that he is back on the IL and is retroactive on May the 3rd, which means May 13th is the earliest that George Springer can come off the IL. But if I'm Charlie Montoya, given the fact that, the Jays try to bring George Springer back on a limitation as being the DH, they got to make sure that he's 100% healthy. Because remember, the Blue Jays signed him to a 6-year deal with $150 million. Do I think it was a bad contract? No, because George Springer is an elite player. But given the fact that, George Springer has had some injury concerns in the past, even though last year was a COVID season, he avoided going on the IL for the first time of his career, even though it was a shortened 60-game season. But if I'm the Blue Jays, if I'm Charlie Montoya, if I were managing the Blue Jays, they have to bring George Springer back when he's 100%. Because to me, as a diehard Blue Jays fan, I want to see George Springer at his best. Not 80% best, not 50% best, not even 90% best, not even 99.9% best. He needs to be back at 100%. And that's what needs to happen. Don't get me wrong, George Springer, he's a great player, and he is the difference maker. But the Jays have got to be cautioned about his recovery time. They need to make sure that he's 100%, and he needs to make sure that he can hit consistently, and he needs to make sure that he can run the bases without any pain, And they need to make sure that he needs to play every day in center field. Now, maybe they should move him to a corner outfield spot. Who knows in the future? He is going to be 30. He's 31 years old. He's going to be 32 next season. He's going to aged up. So to me, I think the Jays have got to find a way to make sure that George Springer is at his best when he recovers from that groin injury. And another Blue Jays update, Hyun-Jin Ryu, who went to the IL because of a glute strain. He is expected to be activated tomorrow against the season finale against the Oakland Athletics. And then what happened is that Reese McGuire has been selected his contract. He was designated for the assignment early on, and then with the Alejandro Kirk going on the IL, Riley Evans, who was brought up, he's going to be sent down to the alternate spring training site. And then as well, they have transfer Julian Merriweather to the 60-day disabled list because he's recovering from an oblique strain. So to me, George Springer, get healthy. Make sure you're back 100%. Don't rush. Do not rush to come back. Take as much time as you need. And if it has to be more than 10 days, then so be it. The Jays have got to be more careful with George Springer because he is too valuable for this team. That's going to be it for me, guys. If you guys have any comment about George Springer going back to the IL, how do you feel about it? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you confused about this whole situation? Write the comments down below, please. I want to hear your opinion. And you can also subscribe to my channel, T-Fuj Sports. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at T-Fuj Sports. Thanks, you guys. And I'm sure hope that you guys would support the Blue Jays as much as you can because they're on the horizon. I mean, Vladdy, Teoscar, Gurriel, and then they got really good bullpen, and their pitching has been pretty good this season. Continue supporting your Blue Jays. I'm telling you, once George Springer comes back, it's only going to get better. Thanks, you guys. Peace out.